Hey, doing it with JP, I have a question for you.
What is doing it with JP?
Doing it.
Yeah, we are.
I'm doing this for JP at the Oakland Lakeshore Lake. I'm an ex-federal convict, and I would like to ask the question is, how do people feel about ex-convicts coming from prison? Thank you.
Hey, else. So, you've been inside the street game, I'm gonna call it, since 2006. What made you start?
Well, I lost like I said, I lost my mom,
Okay.
2006. So that right there, my mind went elsewhere. I lost my mind and, I lost my best friend. And with that alone, that can be a burden on somebody, too much to handle and everything. So I completely lost it and I went to the street for healing. I was ready to rob, gang bang, do whatever it is to hurt somebody the way that I was feeling hurt deep down inside. So I made the streets my choice of where I was going to get my income, where I was going to spend my life, and all of that.
So, what was one of the first things that you have done when you was on the streets? Like your first hurting of someone else to make them feel the way you felt?
First thing might have been, so maybe selling some drugs, maybe. Maybe fighting or something, I don't know.
Right.
Drugs.
What type?
Type of drugs? Crack rock.
Okay. And how did you, when you start selling these crack rocks, how did you feel? Was you doing it for the income or was you doing it for...
But see, I was doing it for the income, and then again, I was doing it just to be doing it. Because like I said, when I lost my mom, I started being reckless, careless, so I didn't care, I seen everybody else doing it, it was on TV, so I decided that's what I'm gonna do.
Right. And like, how much did you sell a weekend or a day or a week?
Oh, man. Honestly, a couple thousand.
Oh. A day, a weekend, a week?
A week.
Hmm.
$1,000 a week.
And that sounds like fairly decent money for, to be selling.
Right.
And did you ever see them on the street, the people that was doing these things, or like
what?
was there any type of emotional attachment to the people that you're selling this to, or was it just
Like, was I attached to who I was selling the drugs to, or what?
or I mean like how did you remove your emotional self from selling someone crack rocks?
Well, like I said at the time, I didn't have no emotions. I didn't have no feelings, nothing. So I was going through the motion for what it is. I was accepting whatever comes and taking care of what it is at the time that it presented itself.
So have you ever robbed people?
Yes, I have.
And like tell me about that.
Well, me and my homies, we need some money. And what we'll do, we'll get up in a pack. We'll get up in a pack and we probably drive, we'll drive, say, to CC College. It's College.
You don't have to say the location.
Yeah. So we call it the lick. Pulling the lick is rob somebody.
Okay.
So we said we're about to go pull a lick. Let's go pull a quick one. See if we can get some change or whatever. So we goes up there, drives up there, and we bounce out the car, and it's always people around there walking.
Right.
In the hills and everything. So first person we see, we're gonna get on them. Beat them down, take whatever they have.
When you say beat them down, what's your definition of?
Well, it's the different occasions, If they resist to give freely, then we'll take action and use force.
So what's the most extreme force have you ever used?
We'll probably punch somebody. I hit pretty hard. So, yeah, what's that?
So from 2006 to the current present time, how many licks have you ever done?
So maybe 7 maybe?
Okay.
Licks.
So I heard a story about this. We don't call her a geisha because that's what she likes to go by.
Yeah.
Her name is Romantica.
Right.
And so I heard a story about this geisha Romantica, and that you was her.
So Pam, I was a daddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
See,
tell us about that story.
I stopped hustling, whatever, I stopped hustling. And, I met this female, and she came along, and, I told her my story and everything, and she took into it. So she was like, well, you don't have to do that no more. You can, I'll do this for you. So, she wanted to sell her body, herself for me, for us, so we can make ends meet, and I can get up out that field, out that game, so that's what we did. It was pimping and hoeing. So we was traveling and everything, and, spending money, having money, living a life.
Is that the first time that you ever pimped before?
Well, I had a lot of females that, gave me money, and, quote unquote, now, this generation, when a female give a guy money, he's saying, oh, I'm a pimp, but I had a lot of females give me money, but not actually a pimp, where she sold, herself.
So I've heard stories about pimps and hoes that pimps mainly protect the women that they're sending out.
Right.
So, can you give me examples or stories about what?
See, that's his property. He owns that. Touching if a guy touch his woman, his female, that's like touching his money. That's against the code. That ain't right. You don't do that.
But
so that's where the actions take place and all that.
But he can touch her if he pays for it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
And
make him a trick.
a trick.
A trick.
So a trick is
Someone that pays to have sexual intercourse with this lovely female,
who knew?
which is a John.
What's the John?
A trick. The
Guy.
guy that pays for sexual intercourse.
So during the process, so let's say you dropped your nice beautiful woman off, and she's somewhere, wherever, corner, store, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
How close would you be? How would you know that she's safe? How would y'all communicate that she's safe?
Well, we always communicate by phone, and the pimp always knows what's going on. Always, when it comes with the female. Any strange thing, it's off, he take action.
So you're always someone nearby watching?
Yeah, always nearby around watching. But if she's a loyal, lady, female, then, you kind of distance yourself from it. But if she's new, you have to be right there.
On her, just...
You have to be right there on her, on her heels.
As a pimp, do you ever have to physically put them in their place?
Yes. Yes, you do. Probably say 80% of the time. Because, that's where, she goes through different emotion, hormones and everything, and, then she talking back, being disrespectful, and talking to other guys and everything. So it's actions, it's discipline that need to be, set for when it comes to that right there.
Okay.
So it gets physical, but
So your woman, did you ever have multiple geishas?
Yes.
At one time?
Yes. And it's a mess. It's a mess.
So how's the hierarchy with that? Which geisha Like, is there just all the geishas just follow you, or is there like a hierarchy geisha that follows, that controls the rest?
It all depends. You know, you got a bottom. You got your bottom, which is your main female.
And the main female is called the bottom.
Yeah. Called the bottom. Which is, you know, she's been with you the longest, trust her and everything, you know. She's been faithful, she's bringing money, all that. So then you got your straight alongs, your straights and everything that comes along, and they want to add to the team. They want to be a part of the team. So, but it can get sloppy at times nowadays. You know, it's such attitudes, and there's so many false holes out now. You know, they come along, or you know, this female get jealous, and this female like, oh, I don't want to do that. Then you got boyfriend and girlfriend pimps and all that. So it can get sloppy when it comes with the team, having a team. It gets sloppy.
Okay. And just for my knowledge, why do you call your main female the bottom and not like the top?
Because she's been with me through thick and thin when I ain't had nothing.
When you was on the bottom?
Yeah.
Got it. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's my body. From the bottom to the top. Don't stop.
Right. So do you ever love any of your geishas?
Well, yeah. I mean, I know they say I'm supposed to love them, but yeah, man, you know, I love them for what they doing. They sacrificing themselves. You know what I mean? To make ends meet for, you know, me. So, yeah. But some of them, you just tell them that, just so it sound good.
So how do you ever give them nice gifts? Do you ever shower them with nice things, or take them out? Or?
Yeah, all that comes along, yeah, and, you know, might give them some dick, you know what I mean, whatever. So, it all depends on, you know, how I'm feeling and how I want to, you know, surprise them or grant them appreciation, show them that I appreciate what they're doing, and to keep up the good work.
Right. So we've spoken about this, or at least some of my producers have told me that now you're in the process of changing your life.
Yeah, right.
That you want to do something different, something better, and you know, you have to live that lifestyle. Here, so you can talk about it.
Because, you know, like I said, there's so many, you know, fag square females. Okay. You know, that's what we call a fag. Is square females, whatever. That's punk rocks. That
elaborate on that, because I've never heard a female be called a fag. Like, elaborate. What did that mean?
Well, she's just she's a fag. She's just, you know, she's just in it just to be in it, just to, you know, try to make ends meet or whatever. She's not really dedicated to it. So she's just going about what she's seeing, just trying to put herself in the presence of being a hoe, but she's really not a hoe, so therefore she's an imposter. You know, so she's trying to be something that she's not, or that she's not holding a title for. So we call them fag bitches. Then you got your renegade bitches that just, you know, they don't have a pimp. They just out there,
just out there hustling.
Yeah, just out there hustling. Renegades. But to elaborate on what you said, what you asked about you asked me about what?
You said that you wanted to turn over a new leaf.
Oh yeah, that was all related to that right there. Was yeah, because it's a lot of that going on, and it's about snitching, and you know, you don't know who to trust.
Right.
So that's where a little kind of hesitant, you know, like a whoa, you know, and like I said, I know, you know, I've been set up on this earth to I have a purpose. Yeah. I have a purpose in life, and you know, I'm trying to build structure, and I got 2 boys and everything, and I don't want to, you know, mentor them to go about, you know, their life and seeing me with all this. I want to change, and I want to be a mentor to everybody, you know, out there to show them that, okay, that's good for the moment, you know, but we looking for longevity and everything. So, yeah, I stopped doing what I was doing.
So, and like my producers have said that one of the main reasons that you want to change your life is because your children. And so let's say, you know, your children are, I don't know, 18 years old, and you're starting to see them go down the drug selling, pimping path.
Right, but okay, yeah. You know, they're entitled to do whatever it is that they want to do. I mean, I can't control that, but I can show them. I can show them the ropes.
Right.
You know, if I can, quote a Bible scripture, what I read.
Right.
You know, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he or she shall go, and when they is older, they shall not depart from it.
Right.
You know, so me growing up, when I was younger, my mom and dad always made, me and my brother and my sisters go to church, always, every Sunday. So, they was like, as long as you're living under this roof, you have to go to church.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, when I turn 18, I'm out of here, with the roof. And I found myself 18, still going to church. I found myself, 21, still going to church. 25, still going to church. I'm 27 right now. I'm still going to church. So therefore, even though I did stray off and go about it in a direction that I went down the wrong way, I still found that road that I was always on.
Right.
So that's the beauty of that right there.
So it's not like your family gave you, your parents gave you an excellent foundation growing up.
Foundation and structure, yes.
And then when your mother passed,
Right.
it caused a lot of grief and turmoil within your life, which you lost your way. But you always kept your eye on the prize in a way.
Always.
And now you're turning a new leaf, and I like that.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you doing this with JP, the show. And
Thanks for having me too.
right, and I think that your words are really going to teach a lot of folks about their path and things that they're doing. And so, if there is one thing that you would like to say to everyone, like one lesson that you can teach out of these years that you have learned, what would you like to say? And
well, one thing I would say is, running the streets is just, being out there in that field. It's just for the moment, It's a lot of killing and, people getting locked up, from the streets and everything. And there's nothing good up in the streets. I mean, it might look good from the outside, but being up in it is you're swimming in an ocean full of sharks, basically. So my thing is, man, just stay in school, man, and be motivated, man. Do something with your life. You do have a purpose.
thank you, Killer.
Right. Killer.
Thank you, Killer. And
Thanks for having me.
all right. We all deserve a second chance. Sometimes even a third. Because, if you never done it, then where's the wisdom? And if you've never been taught it, then who's to blame? So, go out there and fix your wrongdoings. Change your mistakes. Teach the youth and sometimes school the elderly. Go back and make up for all the wrongdoings that you have done. And if you can't find that person, then fix someone else. Play it forward. Spread the love, not the judgment. Thank you for doing it with JP.